to my deck profile, and this is my first deck profile on my channel, and I will show you Cardians. They're one of my favorite decks. It's quirky, it's gimmicky, and that's what I like in my decks. So let's start with the main deck. The deck doesn't have a lot of normal summonable monsters. I'm gonna say this ahead of time. Things like Vanity's Fiend, Vanity's Emptiness, I believe it is. They kill your deck. Any barrier statue kills the deck. Be wary of that and try to play around it. Start off with one of the monsters that can be normal summoned. It's Flower Cardian Pine. It's the most basic of the Cardians. If you summon it, you draw a card. If it's a Flower Guardian monster, add it to your hands. Otherwise, send it to the graveyard. We only play Flower Guardian monsters, so the only thing this will send is the spells, which some of them will gain effects when they are sent this way. Another one of the normal summons is Cherry Blossom. You can normal summon this, but most of the time you will special summon this when there's a level 1 on the field, namely Pine. Then is this effect, you can tribute any Flower Guardian, then draw a card. If it's not a Flower Guardian, send it to the grave. If it's a Flower Guardian monster, add it to the hand and then search another Flower Guardian. This is mostly an extender. You barely will use this as a starter. But these are your main normal summon core. Then you have Flower Guardian Cherry Blossom with Curtain, the upgraded version of the earlier card. This one is the plain special summon of the deck. You can reveal this card in your hand, draw a card. If it's a Flower Guardian monster, you can special summon this card. If it's not a Flower Guardian monster, you send both of the cards to the graveyard. Also, this works as an honest, or well, more like an Alistair. You can discard this card when one of your Flower Guardians battles, and the battling monster gains 1000 attack. I have never used this for that effect. I am trying to start to use it for it to catch my opponent off guard, but I've never used it like that. Then the other archetype of cards this deck has is the higher level ones. This is Flower Guardian Zebra Grass. You can special summon this card from your hand if you control a level 8 or a level 7 or lower Flower Guardian, but it locks you into Flower Guardians for the rest of the turn. Also, if this is normal specials, you can normal these, then you just need a tribute to. You'll mostly always special these. If it is special summoned, you can send reveal any number of Cardians monsters in your hands and shuffle them into the deck, then shuffle the same number of cards. The good effect of this is that the cards that you draw can be spells. You will not have to discard all your spells afterwards. Polony has the same effect with the special summoning, but just level 11 or lower, which is almost all of them, basically all of them. This does not have a draw effect, but when this is targeted for an attack, negates your attack and then draw a card. That effect is not once per turn. They need to get rid of this with an effect. Otherwise you can keep drawing cards, which is great. Let's put the rest of these cards aside because we'll be going into a very important card, which is Flower Guardian Willow, which, because this is just an anime deck, they will never get rarity bumps, so we're stuck with this. Yeah, this ultra rare. It's nice that it's a nice ultra rare, but would have loved this in secret. You can special summon this if you control level 10 or lower, as it's a level 11 themselves. Then you can send one Cardian from your graveyard to your deck, then draw a card. That is easy as it is, just recursion. But it has an upgraded form in Willow with Calligrapher, which is the first of the tuners we're going to talk about. You can special summon this by attributing a level 11 Cardian, which is Willow. Special summon this. Then if it is summoned, draw a card. If it's a Flower Guardian monster, you can special summon it But you need to keep in mind it's summoning conditions, so you cannot summon Calligrapher with its own effect. Otherwise, send the card that you draw to the graveyard, just like any other Cardian monster. Also, I forgot to say, but with Willow, that's the same as Zebra Grass. You can draw any card, even the spells. It's fine. But with Calligrapher, the gimmick of this whole synchro deck is this is level 11, but it will be treated as level 2, just as will all the other materials. This is a common gimmick between the tuners, also with Peony with Butterfly. If it's used as a tuner, you can treat all the materials as level 2. You can special summon attributing any Flower Cardian. It cannot be normal summoned or set. If this is special summoned, draw a card. If it's a Flower Cardian monster, you can look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and then stack it and put it on top or the bottom. I always put it on top just so I know what my opponent draws, even if it's a card I don't want them to have, like let's say they were 3 evenly matched. I don't want to have well, even 3 evenly is a bad. Let's say it's if we're playing an all-time sake would be a Rhoda, Pot of Greed, or a Graceful Charity. I'd rather give them the Rhoda, just so I know what they got. But yeah, also the tuner. For the last monsters, I play Clover with Boar. It's a tribute to special summon. I can tribute any Flower Cardian. Then draw a card. If it's a Flower Cardian monster, you can pop a monster on your opponent's side on the field. Mind the card text here. Let's see if it will focus on it. You can destroy one monster your opponent controls. It does not target. And none of these effects are once per turn. So you can keep cycling and cycling and cycling. Then for one of the big new support cards is Super All In. It's a risky card, but definitely worth it. You can return one synchro monster you control to the extra deck. And if you do special summon 4 Flower Guardians from your graveyard. After you do this, you draw one card, and if it's a Flower Guardian monster, you can special summon it. If it's not a Flower Guardian monster, you have to destroy all cards you control and then have your life points. The good combo with this is make sure you have one of the synchros on the field, namely Flower Guardian Light Shower. This stops all your Guardians to get destroyed by card effects, including Super All In. This card does have, and if you destroy and if you do, clause. So if you don't destroy, you don't have your life points. It's a good one to keep your combo going. If this gets sent to the graveyard by one of your Guardian effects, you can put one spell from your graveyard into your hand at the end of the end phase. Then we play 3 Recardination. You can target one Guardian in your graveyard, bring it to your hand, and then special a different Guardian from your any Guardian from your hand, ignoring the summoning conditions. So you can break a Cherry Blossom, bring back a Cherry Blossom, and then special summon, I don't know, a Boar or a Calligrapher, which you normally wouldn't be able to summon, and then reuse Cherry Blossom with Curtain. Also, if this gets sent to the graveyard by Guardian effect, you can stack the top 5 cards of your deck and also pick one of the spells that you excavated and just add it to your hand. Flower stacking is just what it says it is. It's stacking. You can get 3 different named Guardians from your deck and put them in any order on top of your deck. Also, if this is in your graveyard, but not the turn it gets sent there, you can banish it and then bring back one Guardian from your graveyard to your hand. It's to start your plays for the second turn, as most of the time you will not have a draw phase, but we'll get to that in the extra deck. I play double Super Koi Koi. You can only activate 1 per turn, that's why I didn't want to play 3. This you can activate the top 3 cards, special summon any amount of Flower Guardians, make them level 2, negate their effects. One time you want to try and summon 3, because if you excavate any spells or any Cardian that you cannot summon because the field is full, for example, they get banished face down. And you don't want that. Also, you take 1000 damage for any monster that got banished. So, keep track of your life points. Then, a double flower gathering. You can summon Cardians with level 100 attack, 4 of them with different names. In this instance, we have 5 different targets. We have Willow, we have Apollonia and the zebra grasses, we have the cherry blossoms, and we have the pine. So you have 5 different targets to get them out on the field. Before I played this card, I only played 2 Apollonia because I felt like it was a brick, which it kind of still is. But the 2 does make the deck a bit more consistent. I always try to keep Pine on the field as long as possible because you can special summon Cherry Blossom free if you have a level 1 on the field. That's just a little tactic. This doesn't have a graveyard effect, unfortunately. Would be too powerful probably. Also to keep in mind, the monsters that you special summon off of this effect cannot be tributed for a tribute summon. You mostly don't want to do that anyway. And it locks you into Flower Guardians. Then a Rhoda. They're all warriors, so you can just search Pine off of it and start right there. For the extra deck, we'll start with the boss monster, which is Flower Guardian Light Flare, which, stupidly enough, is just a rare. It really deserved more, maybe because it didn't get a lot of screen time. I don't believe it got any screen time in the anime. It is just a rare. But it's a negate for a spell or a trap once per turn. Also, if any of your Guardians battle an opponent's monsters, their effects get negated. And if this gets sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card or card effect, you can special summon a synchro monster from your extra deck. That's basically it. It's an effect negation during battle and 1 normal negation. You mostly want to summon Light Shower. Your opponents cannot target Guardians and they cannot be destroyed by card effects. This doesn't just count for this card. All the Guardian synchros count for all the cards. Also, during your opponent's turn, if they draw for their draw phase, they take 1500 for per Light Shower on the field. It's not once per turn, so you can have 3 Light Showers on the field to deal 4500 the burn damage on just a single draw. Also, during your opponent's end phase, you have to decide whether to skip your draw phase or negate this effect. That's why flower stacking is so important, so you can skip your draw phase and still keep going. Another one that will do the same to you is Moonflower Viewing, which we play 3 of. This is a Synchro Tuner. It's very nice for super all-in, because you can summon this off of itself and then summon them back and then keep it going. Because if you summon this, you can, during your main phase, you can draw 1 card. If it's a Flower Guardian monster, special summon it, and it can attack directly this turn. If you activated the effect, skip your draw phase of your next turn. And then it also has the level 2 level adjustment effect. So this is mostly your Super Alien target, or if you slide it in your Desynchro target. And you mostly want to summon all 3 with themselves. The last Synchro monster is of course Borderfly. It's good against some decks, it's bad against the other. This will give all your Guardians piercing, so even your Light Flare, which is a 5000 body, will get piercing off of this. And you can banish 1 Flower Guardian from your graveyard. And until the end of your opponent's next turn, this is a lingering effect. Your opponents cannot activate effects of cards in the graveyard. Also, they cannot special summon monsters from the graveyard. This shuts down some of the bigger decks. Like, I believe it shuts down Eldritch. It shuts down Sky Striker, I believe. And it shuts down Altergeist, Zombie World. It's a good card. I try to get it at least once in a rotation. I'll try to get it in. But if you don't, it's not bad. I play 1 Isolde. just for one of the cards in the side deck. I used to play 2 of these when it was still Master Rule 2, but I just like having it in there. Cypher is just here for the... It's filler. It's filler. You can throw anything in there that you like. Some people I know play Herald of the Arclight for if you summon the tuner of the Super Koi Koi, and another one you can make Herald of the Arclight. But one of the fun decks I like is Red Eye Flare Metal. Now you can summon it with 2 of the boars if you didn't lock yourself into Flower Cardians yet, and just try to game your opponent with the burn damage it does. For the side deck, I didn't even sleeve it yet because I barely use it. I go with 3 Flower Cardian Maple with Deer. It is the boar for spells. It does exactly the same, but then spells. I have the 3rd Super Koi Koi. I play the Sword of Deep Seated for the Search of Isolde. You can send this, then search Bind, and then this gets sent to the top of your deck. Then you can, for example, what I used to do is shuffle a card back with Willow, which shuffles my deck and gets this off the top. Because anytime this gets into the graveyard, you have to send it back. It's mandatory. If you have a feeling like your deck doesn't draw enough, you play 3 Allure of Darknesses in the side. Used to be my main go-to, but don't like it really anymore. 3 Magical Stone Excavations and a Desynchronized Pot of Everest. This is just for the games that really take long. If they take long, you want to side these in. Maybe even with the Allure, so you can keep cycling through your deck better. And make sure you always have material to keep going forward. Especially the Jar of Everest, I keep missing. Maybe it is because I can choose the wrong targets for my Willow, but the Pot of Everest, yeah, you can miss it if you go second and OTK, but off of the second turn you're screwed if you make a mistake. So yeah, this is my deck profile for my Flower Cardians. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about the deck, please let me know. I am always happy to let you guys know anything about the deck and about any combos. If you want to see some hand testing, I will do that in a later video. And even if you have some tips for me, some nice card decks, please let me know. Some of the ones I've thought of is like Darkest Diabolus, because you tribute them and they're all dark, so you can summon him from your grave after you have milled it. But if you already locked yourself in the Flower Cardians, it kind of interferes with it. But it's a nice deck. For now, I will leave you guys with this deck list, and I hope you get to see you all in the next video. Thank you very much.